Welcome to the channel again, everyone. So what we have here spinning is a churro queue of an Isuzu Gemini. It's a car I never knew about, but you know, it's a goofy looking churro queue. So you're probably not watching this video because you're interested in that, but if I don't collect these churro queues, I probably wouldn't have even considered buying this. This is an Isuzu Gemini as well. So sometimes collecting these little deformed vehicles introduces me to actual realistic looking things. So this is by TLV, Tomica parent company. Coincidentally, they're the same company that makes churro queues, Tomica. Okay, so as usual, really big wasteful packaging explaining something about probably this radio company. It says part 2. I think there's some other radio cars. And that's really all I'm interested in, this box and that stuff in the blister. And then some details back there. So the question is it going to have paint rash? There's a better chance that it'll have paint rash than not, from my experience. I don't care about this packaging. I don't buy these things for investment purposes. If you want to invest money, I highly suggest you buy gold, something that has purpose in the real world. Diecast cars don't really have purpose in the real world, so that's why I don't consider them investments, nor do I care about this, you know, just garbage I'm paying for. Alright, so this is all that matters here. You can store this if you need to, if you're moving houses or something like that. So this is LV-ra01, so maybe there's a radio series, radio announcement series. Maybe that's what RA stands for, but I'm not really sure. Okay. Alright. And there's some parts here. Oh, some antennas you have to put in yourself. Okay, what's nice is I saw 2 of them, so if you break one off, you still got a spare. And I don't know if that... I guess it makes sense that they tape that together. So I'm going to have to put one of these on. Just to see how difficult or how easy this might be. So I'll do this real time. Alright, so this, first of all, the antenna itself is just that molded silver plastic. It's not painted or anything like that. It's got that waviness to it. So I got some clippers here. I'll clip one off. One goes in the blister pack. So I anticipate I might need some glue, but we'll see if this little thing works off of a friction fit. Now it's too loose. So a little school glue, dab school glue, we'll keep that in place. And it dries clear, so very good. Alright, so that's not too hard, guys. And key thing is, there's 2 antennae. I wish they would do that with all their extra parts. It's not like that little chunk of plastic costs much, right? They should do that with all the things. And really, it'd be nice if the license plates were separate, so you can add them as an option. Alright, let's see. This is the first generation Isuzu Gemini, which is a front-engine, rear-wheel drive car. But in 1979, they received this new slant-nosed front and rectangular headlights and some sort of redesigned rear. So I'm not even sure if the rear photograph is correct, but this front photograph looks pretty darn close to me. This one as well. You'll notice this one here is a checkerboard egg crate kind of grill. So this is also known as a Holden, I think. So now let's see if this photograph is the right photo. What do you know? That was just pure luck. Cool. And you know, it reminds me of like a Volvo, that taillight, or actually it reminds me of a Bentley. I think it reminds me of an old Bentley Turbo R or something like that. Alright, I might have to get that model later for comparison. Alright, Let's see here. So we got this white and red graphic here. It looks like Marlboro packaging. The nice thing about TLV is they print their graphics on with paint. There are no decals, so as long as the paint looks nice, unfortunately, it's got paint bubbling as expected. So that's typical, really, for me. It's majority of my collection has paint rash from TLV. The question is, how old is this guy? Originally cast in 2011, although it doesn't really, I don't know if that box actually said when this actual colorway came out. You know, I'm sure maybe this colorway is newer than 2011. But the top looks nice, at least. I don't see much paint. Well, I take that back. The whole trunk is all bubbling up, so... oh well. It's just come to expect it. If you're new to the hobby and you like smooth paint, I would avoid this brand like the plague. They're probably... they are the worst brand for paint quality of all my brands. No doubt about it. Alright, so the wheels here... I guess these are mimicking the stamped steel wheels, but there's no air passages or even further dents like the real wheels, so I don't know. It's kind of weird that they're painted white. I kind of expect stamped steel wheels to look silver like in those photographs, but this is a special radio car. I did a search for a Isuzu Gemini radio, and all it did is come up with photos of diecast cars, so I don't know what the real one looked like. The door handles here are painted silver and they're sticking out. We got some black paint around the window molding, and the window itself has a little raised ridge painted black. There's a flat graphic here for that's reflector or turn signal or whatever that might be. I think this bumper is a separate piece of plastic. Yeah, it is. And for some reason they painted that to match the red back here. Kind of weird. Not sure. Doesn't match either of those photographs I pulled up. It's so strange. Okay, orange paint up here. Nice clear lens over a silver backing. I kind of feel that the backing could have been better. They could have easily molded in like a dot or something to look like an old headlight. The grille texture seems alright, and there's a little silver dot here in the middle. Okay, and then the blank license plate. The black molding on the bumper looks okay. Unfortunately, no black paint down here either. Okay, some ridging. This is a nice graphic. It hasn't been messed up yet, although the paint bubbling is starting on the hood as well. This side of the car looks alright. Where's the fuel filler? Maybe it's hidden behind the license plate. Or is it this hatch? Wait, is that on this side? Yeah, it is. I kind of see it on the photographs. Maybe it's like a vent that pops out or something. Alright, this cool little speaker, I'm imagining this red thing on the roof is a speaker of some sort. And then maybe this lights up at night or something. Okay. Let's see about this interior since we're zoomed in. I apologize for the paint on my fingernails. I make, models, so I very often have paint, and I don't even see the paint when I'm washing my hands. It's not until I look at it under 4 times magnification. Alright, typical molded in details. Pretty nice dashboard actually. I like all those little dots, and the vents look pretty nice as far as the molding goes. Yeah, the dashboard also has some round dials molded in, so that's pretty cool. The instrument binnacle, I mean. So molding wise, this is really a really nice interior. It's one of the better ones I recall from any brand. Unfortunately, the color choice, it's a gray. It's not black, so thankfully it's a little lighter than usual, but it's pretty hard to see without a flashlight, so yeah. Okay. The doors also have some detail you can see there. Alright. Yeesh. Man, that's some messed up stuff. There's a scratch there as well. Alright, yeah, so this tail section. The Gemini is pretty much legible. There's a little silver strip running across the bottom here of the trunk. There's a bump here, I think. Maybe that's not a bump, but there's definitely a silver dot painted. Taillights separation of color is behind the lens itself. The paint, I think, is back there. But this must be clear, and then the red as well. I don't know if the orange is part of the plastic or paint back there. Blank license plate again. Silver and black bumper. It's a separate piece. Alright, let's get back out here. So some silver on the muffler there. You know where it is in the series, what the car is, when this was originally cast. So they actually tell you everything you want to know. You know, get a general idea of how old it might be. So for me, that helps me figure out the value of something. But unfortunately, TLV always press fits their stuff together. So modifying this, you know, would be difficult. I would like to take it apart and paint that interior lighter color, but I'm not willing to drill this thing apart in order to do that. And also, some nicer wheels might have been nice, but again, I don't feel like messing with it. Alright, well, it's an interesting car. It's again, something I never even knew about until I got that Chorokyu. So let's compare it to a couple other models here. I like this advertisement back there. Alright, so, boy, I'm not sure if I mentioned, the original, very first generation had a 1.6 liter, but in 1977 they moved to 1.8 liters. There was even a turbocharged one, you know, a diesel, petrol, turbo. I think it was a turbo petrol. Alright, so I'm just going to pull out a bunch of other cars between the late 70s and mid 80s. So here's a 1981 Toyota Soarer, and this is made by brand Konami. Nice colorful interior on that one. Another Konami would be the Toyota Celica Coupe from 1977 to 1981. So maybe that's the second. Is that the second or third generation Celica? I don't know the answer. Please leave a comment. I'm sure you do. Alright, so another Konami is 1975 to 81. It's a Mazda Cosmo AP. That AP means anti-pollution, because that was a big issue back then. I was thinking recently, you know, California Air Resources Board, I remember everyone was complaining about cars having to become cleaner and all that stuff. Los Angeles used to have horrible smog, partially from transportation, but actually a lot of it was from people burning wood stoves to heat up their houses. They banned all that stuff, and now if you look at the air quality index, Los Angeles within one lifetime has cleaned up their act. And because of the CARB, all cars are cleaner. So might be a bunch of hippies in California, but they're trying to clean up the environment. It's funny, I didn't care about the environment until a few years ago, but you know, the more pollution ends up in the air, the more plastic I'm eating. I don't feel so great every now and then. It starts to creep up on you, old age. Alright, so this last one is by Aoshima. It's one of the Garachan collection cars, so that's why it looks a little crazy. But the beautiful thing about Aoshima's is they have screwed together bases, so I took it apart to paint the interior and I added those alloy wheels to it. So it's a little crazier than usual. Let's go with the top view. Very wide range of sizes, of course. Internet tells me this first one is a subcompact class car. This is Isuzu Gemini. I'm not sure if they grew later on, but I apologize for the skipping turntable. I've ordered a couple different ones, but they're still in the mail. They might take 2 months for all I know to show up. Alright, well, let's take a look at this thing spinning on its own. So for today, the paint rash could have been a lot worse. I've definitely seen a lot worse from TLV and other brands like Kyosho. They also get paint rash too. So I guess it really all comes down to how old this thing is. Oh, let me go get that Bentley. So obviously the Bentley's going to be a lot bigger. I'm going to have to move this thing over. Let's see if the taillights match up at all. Or maybe I'm just delusional. Well, I can see the resemblance. You know, the proportions of those large rectangular tail lamps. So, interesting. Although this Bentley probably came out later. Yeah, this thing came out in 1985 to 97, the Turbo R. So, Isuzu was actually first, or, there's some other car that has rectangular tail lights like that. I'm sure many cars do. I looked at that packaging again. I didn't see any sort of date of copyright on there, so that's another thing I don't like about certain brands, not telling you how old their models are. Alright, well, it's definitely an interesting subject. I was not even aware of these radio cars. I don't know what they're playing. Are they literally just announcing, hey, come listen to channel 954? Or are they... Well, I don't know what they're doing. So if anyone in Japan can maybe leave a comment, that'd be nice to know. I think a lot of viewers would like to know that answer. Why they have radio cars. What is their purpose? Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next TLV review. Bye.